Hey folks, I am your Professor Tom Key for THEA 210 Oral Interpretation. This is a quick orientation video about Module 2, which is where we're going to get started presenting using video and submitting it into the course. There are two major projects in this unit. The first is your history of oral interp. It's a discussion unit. There's going to be an internal deadline, probably about 4 days into the unit, 3 or 4 days into the unit. And in that, I want you to go back and just think about any time that you might have had to present written material in public as a speech or as a reading or whatever it might be. It might be a toast at a family gathering. It might be a toast at a formal gathering like a wedding. Could be something that took place, at a religious ceremony. Anything like that is, fair game for this assignment. I'd appreciate it if you didn't just write, I never had to do that, because I think most of us at some point have had to speak in front of 2 or more people. And even if it was just a speech, like a training thing, you had to teach something in a class or something you read in school, that would be fine. It's just a baseline for us to start talking about what goes into interpreting material, what goes into speaking in front of people. There are also a bunch of other questions that I've loaded in here about what makes somebody interesting to listen to, what makes material interesting to follow, etc. So in your second post, you can also answer one of those questions and elaborate that, or on the first if you absolutely do not have any time that you've ever spoken in front of more than 2 people. So that is your history of oral interp. The next assignment is called Talk About Your Passion. What it is you having, in an impromptu way, completely extemporaneously, speaking for 1 to 3 minutes about something you're passionate about. It is absolutely not you introducing yourself. Okay, so I want to be clear. If you turn that in, if you get up and you just say, hey, my name is this, and I'm majoring in this, and I came to BSU, then you will not get a good grade on this assignment. Okay? There's a really specific reason for that. I want this to be something that you can speak about so freely and so without any self-consciousness, and it's something you're really genuinely enthused about. So just turn the camera on and let it rip. You can stop, you can go just as naturally as you would. It's not a presentation. It's not a speech. It's just you talking to the camera about it. Now, that said, I want you to frame the shot exactly the way it is stated in the instructions. And there's a bunch of reasons spelled out into there as well as to the reason that we do it this way. It needs to be a shot that covers you from head to toe. So not the shots you're looking at now, right? But much more like, this shot. Okay? All right, minus the headroom. Try to compress that. So you want to be as close to the camera as you can, but getting yourself in from head to toe. That's actually not quite as good as it should be. Okay? All right? Because there's not a lot of room in here. That's a pretty good approximation right there. So what happens when I'm speaking back here? Well, for one thing, you can see I'm more vocally present than I was when I was sitting up there. So I'm on my voice, as we say when we're talking about vocal production. Also, right away, my gestures start to open up. I'm a lot more free than I was gesturally. That's super important. The other thing is, if I've got a little copy of my poem that I'm tasked with memorizing, well, if I'm here, I can try to make it look like I'm talking to you, but actually I'm looking at the poem, and therefore I didn't have to memorize it. And memorizing is something that's important in this class. So cheating is not a good thing. And so it's very tough to gauge that, but if you're way back here, I can see that you don't have anything in your hand and that there's no way that you can use anything assistance. If you can see that well, or you want to print it up in that and you think you can get away with it, well then more power to you. So this is the shot that you need to have. Again, there's not a lot of headroom between the top of my head and the top of the camera, and that's very, very important. I'm going to leave this chair here because you know what? Actually, you could have a chair in front of you, and sometimes that chair can ground you and keep you from wandering all over the place. And I may even suggest that at times. So don't worry about it. If you've got a chair or a desk or something you want to put to the side, that's fine too. I want you this far back. Okay? All right. So that's a really important thing. The other thing is that you are going to be submitting this as a video that is streamed online. It is not uploaded as a video to the server. We do not have enough room on the university server for that. It is not uploaded as a file. So I have to download it on my computer. I cannot download everybody's video to my computer. So in order to complete this course, you have to upload your video to a streaming service, and that streaming service has to be something I can access without an account or signing up or giving any of my personal information. Okay? I outline a way that you can do this with YouTube so that absolutely no one will see it but you and me or anybody that you give the link to. If you're not comfortable with that, YouTube, you can use a different service that is the same. In other words, that gives you a link you can give to me. I click the link, the video comes open. If it doesn't do that, you cannot get credit for the assignment. If you are unable to stream your video or unwilling to be filmed full from head to toe, as I just outlined, you cannot complete this class and you will need to take another class. There are other options, other classes to fulfill the requirements, and there are other classes like this one that are taught live. So this online course is formatted in this way, and it requires video submission in this manner. It is not something you can get out of, get around, or in any way replace. Okay? I've said this multiple times, and I just am saying it multiple times so that people understand and we don't have to go through a big rigmarole about it. Okay? So please read those directions very carefully so you don't lose any points or get downgraded and say, well, I memorized it. I just didn't, I wasn't comfortable. No, that's not going to work. You'll have to submit it this way so that we can all be on the same page. And that way, also, the rules are applying equally to everyone. So we don't end up getting into why did Mr. Key give this person a break and not that person a break. It's not going to happen that way. Okay? So please take a look at those requirements. This assignment can be very fun, very easy, and bears a lot of credit. So at the end of the day, you're going to get a lot of credit for doing something that's going to probably not take you too long. And that is all there is in Module 2.